Okay, and the last video I'm going to do today is the D's. My record collection with artists that start with D. Now, I got to tell you, about 3 of my favorite artists actually start with D. So I'm excited because there's a lot of good stuff in here. And let's, without further ado, let's jump right in. None of these are going to be in protective sleeves. I'm working on it, like I said in the C video. But yeah, so we're going to start out with Dashboard Confessional, one of my favorite artists. So this particular album, Swiss Army Romance, was very excited to be able to get a hold of this on vinyl. And this is when they really released a lot of their albums, re-released a lot of their albums all at once. So we got this sort of like candy cane, pinwheel release, which is fantastic. And then they did these 10-inch releases with Mondo of, and this is really how I got into Dashboard right here, right? I loved these CDs. I listened to them constantly. So we've got, I think the first one that came out really was the So Impossible. Let's see here. Not sure if I'll be able to tell any different. I can't remember which one came out first, let's be honest. But I think it's So Impossible, partially because this is produced by James Paul Weisner, who I know did Further Seems Forever. Let me also shout out for a second that Mondo did these 10 inches, and they're stunning. Absolutely love them. If you haven't gotten anything from Mondo, highly recommend. So Impossible, to me, this is like absolute perfection in vinyl format. They each have an insert, and this matches the cover, which is what I wanted. It is exactly what I would look for in a release. So very happy. So Impossible EP, literally one of my favorite pieces of music ever. All 4 tracks together, fantastic. Summer Kiss EP, right? So similar thing. Very much matches the cover with that orange. So yeah. And just to give you an idea, if you're not familiar, the tracks that are on these. So Impossible is really a story from start to beginning, or start to end. For You to Notice, So Impossible, Remember to Breathe, hands down. Summer Kiss has a little bit more disconnection, but Living in Your Letters, The Sharp Hint of New Tears, Turpentine Chaser, and Ender Will Save Us All. So definitely a great one there. The Places You've Come to Fear the Most. Again, I got most of these kind of all at the same time. This one is sort of the egg yolk pressing, which was not my favorite pressing of this, but I was just so happy to have it in general. I cannot complain. Next is Unplugged. Now this, I had to have this. This album has meant so much to me over the years. There were years where I was working at Starbucks and I was having to go into work so early, and I'm not a napper, but this album was so chill and such good vibes for me. I could put on the video of it and just kind of crash out. And then plus, it's just such a good performance. The version of Remember to Breathe from the Unplugged album is unparalleled. So this is the one that kind of matches Chris's wristband. So definitely pleased to have that. So still in the get a little hung up here in the corner. There we go. Still in the Dashboard Confessional. Goodness gracious. Come on, record. Get in. There we go. Still in the Dashboard Confessional section. Got a couple more here. The Spider-Man 2 soundtrack, which really, this is an interesting one because it's only got 2 songs, whereas the other 10 inches had 4 songs. But actually, it's got 3 songs. I take that back. So on one side, it's got Vindicated, right? Dashboard Confessionals track, phenomenal. And then the other side is 2 songs from the score by Danny Elfman. So it's got Spidey Suite and Doc Ock Suite. So really fun. You got to have Vindicated, right? So again, matches the sleeve. I think I've mentioned before that I am not coordinated, and this Ooh, that was dangerous. Almost lost it. This is an example of that. So, all right. And then I did buy, let's see here. We've got Dashboard Confessional Crooked Shadows. This one was pretty easy to get a hold of, even though it had been out for a bit. Probably not his most popular album, but I do enjoy it. Some good tracks on here. So, and this is kind of a, I don't even know what to call this pressing, but it's interesting colors, you know. As far as the color, the actual colorway. Some good songs on here for sure. Just not necessarily my favorite of the Dashboard albums. And then we got the best ones of the best ones. So definitely a Dashboard Greatest Hits. This is a gatefold, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is, let's see here, white pressing. So, yeah. Is that all of the Dashboard? Let's take a look. Oh, no, of course it's not. I forgot. New Dashboard. All the truth that I can tell. That's it. Great album. Very much back in the form of like what I'm used to with Dashboard. Growing up in the early Dashboard days, it sounds a lot like that. So good. Now this one is just black vinyl, but I'm fine with that. Love it. Highly recommend. Yeah. So there's my Dashboard. Which brings me to David Crowder Band. If you don't know who David Crowder Band is, this was a really revolutionary Christian band in a lot of ways. Definitely mixed, like really good, like sort of alternative rock. They have some techno, well, not techno really, but like they've added some blips and bloops and bleeps. They've got some country vibes added in. It's just a really interesting mix. And this is a band that actually did have some significant impact on me for various reasons. And this particular album is called Give Us Rest. Give Us Rest, or they had long titles. Give Us Rest, or A Requiem Mass in E, the happiest of all keys. This is black vinyl, I'm pretty sure, because again, I got this one before I was really aware of like colorways or anything like that. Great album, highly recommend. And let me see real quick. I feel like I might be. Yeah, I'm a little bit out of order here. So that is David Crowder Band, and so then I need to be this way. Some of these got a little bit out of order. You got a sneak peek of one, but so from there we're going into Death Cab for Cutie. Transatlanticism, one of my newest pickups from them. It was a re-release for anniversary. It's black vinyl, but you absolutely have to have Transatlanticism. This is their most recognized album. Fantastic album. So happy to have it. It was not my first album that I got by them though. Plans was, I believe, and this is when I really fell in love with Death Cab for Cutie, was with Plans. Every track on here, Marching Band of Manhattan, Soul Meets Body, Summer Skin, different names for the same thing. I could go on and on. What Sarah Said, absolutely important song to me personally. I Will Follow You Into the Dark, of course, well known. Really good. Again, I think just black vinyl. Yep. So Plans, Death Cab, if I haven't mentioned, also one of my favorite bands. So here we've got Narrow Stairs, I believe. Yep. Again, I always forget names, so I have to double check these things. So Narrow Stairs, I did not own this. I sort of recently picked it up. Not real recently, but sort of recently picked it up. And one thing you can't tell that's interesting in here is there are actually like cutouts in the cover, which is something that I haven't had a lot of, so that's kind of fun. And then Codes and Keys. This is the second Death Cab album I ever got. This one, black vinyl, but fantastic album on here. You've got Home is a Fire, Codes and Keys, Doors Unlocked and Open, You're a Tourist. Good tracks on here. Definitely enjoy that album. And their newest full-length album, this is out of order. It was out of order a little bit. Yeah, first we need to do this one. The Georgia EP, which is a really interesting EP if you have never heard this. This is them covering 5 songs, and they were raising money sort of towards the Georgia election, which is outstanding. I love Death Cab for Cutie and their involvement. So they did TLC's Waterfalls, and I was like, what? And it's interesting. It's very different. They did The King of Carrot Flowers Part 1, Fall on Me, Flirted with You All My Life, and Metal Heart. Great songs. Honestly, my favorite on here is The King of Carrot Flowers Part 1, which is a song I had never heard before, but yeah, great album. And is this one might be on some, I think this is on like a Georgia peach colored vinyl. Yeah, this is a Georgia peach vinyl, if you can see that. So then we get to Asphalt Meadows, their newest album, which is phenomenal. I cannot remember if it's on a colored vinyl or not. But absolutely love this album. Yes, it is. Set that down. So this one's just on like, it's kind of a white, but it's got like some pink kind of marbled in there. But if you haven't heard this album, it's so good. And Roman Candles was kind of their first single off there, and it's really good. But Here to Forever, yeah, highly recommend. And the video for Here to Forever is great too. Now, I do have 3 albums on pre-order right now, and one of the albums that I have on pre-order is Death Cab for Cutie's Asphalt Meadows Acoustic, which you can listen to now on streaming services, but I've got the vinyl coming, and I'm very excited about that because I love it. Okay, so then we go to Debussy. This is one that I think I picked, yeah, still got the sticker on it. I picked this up at Half Price Books for $1. But this has Clair de Lune on it, right? Which you got to have Clair de Lune if you're picking up Debussy. And I really like it. So, yeah, nice little classical album on there. Then we have the Decemberists, a third of my favorite bands. I love the Decemberists so much. I was lucky enough to get to see them at Radio City Music Hall with my wife when we went on vacation to New York years and years ago before we had kids. They were Robin Hitchcock opened for them, and one of the dudes from REM was playing with Robin Hitchcock that day. So the Decemberists present Picaresque. So this one has We Both Go Down Together, 16 Military Wives, The Engine Driver, and yeah, there's so many good songs on here, man. Mariner's Revenge Song, The Bandit Queen, yeah. So Picaresque. I think this is just black vinyl. Yeah, black vinyl. So, and I think I picked this one up. I think I ordered this one from Newberry Comics in Boston. So, then I got, maybe this is the one I ordered from Newberry Comics. Castaways and Cutouts. Gosh, my vision is so bad. But this one has Here I Dreamt I Was an Architect, which is one of my absolute favorite songs by them ever. And it has California One Youth and Beauty Brigade, which is so gorgeous. To be perfectly honest, it's not the best sounding press. It's on this translucent orange. It's not the best sounding press, but I'm really glad that I've got it. Maybe one day I'll replace it with a better sounding press, but I have so many Decemberist albums to get before then. Recently, they put the Crane Wife back up for sale, and I was like, oh, I can't do it today, but I'm going to talk to my wife about ordering it tomorrow, because I try not to make, we try to talk about our finances, and I went to order it, and it was already sold out, and I was like, dang it, because that is one of my favorites, that and Hazards of Love, which I don't have. But okay, and then this is The King is Dead. This is, again, one of the very first albums I ever picked up. And this is black vinyl, of course, but Calamity Song is on here, January Hymn, Down by the Water. Good Lord, I love Down by the Water. So, Decemberists, another favorite band. All right, next we have Delirious Cutting Edge. Now, okay, if you grew up in the church that I grew up in, or in the sort of non-denominational, charismatic evangelical world that I grew up in, you know these songs. These 4 little albums were a huge part of church for us for a long time. Delirious, a worship band from England, but this has Message of the Cross and Thank You for Saving Me, Did You Feel the Mountains Tremble, I Found Jesus, the Happy Song, King of Love, I Could Sing of Your Love Forever, Find Me in the River, When All Around Us Fallen, Shout to the North, Obsession. Definitely songs that we grew up with. I was so pleased to get this on vinyl, and I think I ordered this from christianbook.com. I think it's just black vinyl. Yep. But yeah, this is definitely something that has like an impact on me from long time ago, as does this one. This one I got from christianbook.com, I know for sure. Glow. I've got specific memories around this album that I needed to have a copy of this album for that reason. It is not black vinyl. It is very bright orange translucent vinyl. But this album, really a great album. Delirious has a little bit of a U2 vibe to him, if you've never heard of him. But Investigate is a song, for instance, that I have deeply, deeply loved. Jesus' Blood. Yeah, so not for everyone, but definitely for me. Love it. Then we've got Brett Dinner, Loverboy. Brett Dennen, Loverboy. This is another one of the earliest albums I bought. So this is when I was first getting into collecting vinyl, really. So fantastic album here. And the thing is, too, I think that when I bought this album, let me see here. I think Must Be Losing My Mind might be the song that really caught me on this. But I didn't know his music real well. I knew a few of his tracks and I really enjoyed them. And I really need to go back and check him out a little bit more. I'm sure this is just black vinyl. Let me double check. Yep. So, if you've never heard Brett Dennen, though, definitely got a good vibe. So, then, the last one, which you got a sneak preview of earlier, Neil Diamond, You Don't Bring Me Flowers. This is one that my mom found and gave to me. I have not listened to it much, and to be perfectly honest, the sleeve it's busted, right? So it's something I gotta maybe try and repair a little bit. But You Don't Bring Me Flowers is a duet with Barbra Streisand, so that's nice, and it's something I'll definitely have to listen to. I haven't listened to a lot, or all of the older albums, the more vintage albums, but something I'm gonna check out. So okay, this got already been a long video. The C's and D's were pretty big. E's are going to be a much shorter video, so that will be coming in a couple of days.